Alright, guys, this is it. This is the season finale. And I thought, what better way to do this than to just go on back all the way to the beginning. And this was the first Minecraft episode. It, I made this cool little ditty on my new computer and I really wanted to play with it a little. I just happened to be playing Minecraft, so I said, what better way? Just do a little background video to it. That way I'm put on YouTube, show all my friends. And this was it. And that's where the intro came from, too. And boom, you can't respawn in a hardcore mode. Wasn't that cool? But yeah, we're going to start off with episode 2. I want to show you a few things. Just how everything kind of went down. Now you remember we spawned into this really cool world the first episode. And I was sitting there, I was playing. And I was trying to record. And you can tell it was the first time I really ever used green screen. And on the nighttime shots, oh my goodness, they were so terrible. I mean, they had such a bad haze to them. It took me a long time to figure out how to do that. But the audio wasn't bad. But yeah, I was playing and all I could hear was those damn villagers just meh, meh, meh. It drove me up the wall. So I said, okay, whatever. You know, I don't have to live in town. I can go and I can build me a little house up there. It'd actually be kind of cool anyway. I was planning on building a house, but I was actually planning around where we're looking at now. Just building like a big mayor's office or something. But I couldn't stand the noise anymore. So we went from here and I already had my pigs all up in a pen and had all the sheep for all the wool I'd ever need once I got some iron. But I said, no, I'm going up on the hill. And that's what we did. That was the beginning there. And I really did. I enjoyed this episode a lot. The first episode, which you'll notice there's no clips from the first episode on here. And the reason for that, I was so nervous and so shy. It was insane. It really was. It was the most traumatic thing I think I've ever done in my life, recording that first episode. The second one, I used a lot, and I mean a lot, of speed tricks because I wasn't real sure of what to show, what not to show. But going back looking at it now, oh man, this thing, it made me sick watching it. I don't know how you guys did. I really don't. This was definitely a poor decision on my end to go. Yeah, I'll just speed everything up about 400%. And that'll save me from having to cut, which I had good intentions. I really thought that, you know, if I really thought that if I showed, the way I planned everything out and the scale I was using and stuff like that, it would help some of these other people that were first starting. Because Minecraft Mondays, it did start out for one of my friends. He had never played Minecraft before, but he kept saying all this stuff about Minecraft, and everybody was talking about it. And I said, well, I'll make a couple videos. I'll show you how to do some cool stuff. And one thing led to another, and next thing I know, now we've got a whole season down, and this is the season 1 finale. It's, I don't know, it's kind of crazy the way things work sometimes. But episode 2 was pretty much just getting ready. And we finished off episode 2. This clip right here always made me laugh. Because I was building, and I was like, I hear a skeleton somewhere. I hear it. And I turn around, boom, he's right there. I was like, oh, man. But that was the beginning of the house. I mean, look at it. It just, well, when I turn around and look at it, I guess. But that was it. That was the way it started. It took us a long time to get to where we are now, and I'm still not satisfied with it. There's still a lot I want to do. I never got around to doing the turrets like I wanted to do. And some of the gable ends I wanted to change out. But that's why there's season 2, I guess. Or maybe even season 3. But these early episodes like this, I like looking back at them now. We're in episode 3 now. And at this point, I was still so nervous to be on camera. I mean, it was different because I was a musician for over 10 years and we played countless shows and we always had a good time and I loved being on stage. It was one of those things. It was a lot of fun. But there's something about knowing how mean the internet can be sometimes. And I was scared to death to do this, but it was one of those things I really wanted to do, so I kept doing it. And I believe that's pretty good advice for anybody, you know. Everything you want to do is sometimes really, really scary. And you just have to do it because you never know what's going to happen during the end of it. It may be the best thing you ever did in your life, and it may completely suck. But at least at the end of the day, if you did it, you can rest assured that you tried, and now you know how it turns out. Alright, now we're into episode 4. And this one right here, I had a lot of fun with this one too. Like this scene right here, just got done talking a bunch of junk about people and the way they place torches so they never get lost. So obviously the first thing I do after, you know, I just got killed for about the 4th time is I made a wrong turn because I was following the torches the wrong way and boom, stuck in a trap. And it seemed like it was insane, guys. I mean, when I was playing this, and I did a lot of cuts to this, you guys didn't get the full picture. But it seemed like every time I turned around, there was a new set of creatures just out trying to slaughter me during this one. And of course, at this time, I don't even know if we had steel yet at this point. I can't remember. Well, yeah, I know we did because we had a bucket, but that may have been the only steel we had. And everywhere I turned, there was something just completely kicking my butt. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this. Every time I turn around, they're killing me. And to this day, I haven't gone back in that cave. I mean, we've got diamond armor now. We've got enchanted swords. I could do anything I wanted to in there. I could clear the place out with TNT if I wanted to, but I still don't go back because there were just so many mobs. It was such a terrible experience. But to date, that was actually one of a lot of my friends' favorite episodes because what can you say? It's always funny to watch somebody fail horribly. And that was all that episode was. I mean, it was bad. I think I'm trying to remember exactly how many times I died. And that stupid witch, oh, it made me so mad. He kept going and kept going and kept slaughtering me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down there. I am going to kick his little witchy poo butt. And then the Joker just despawned. Now we're going into our Going Green episode. This was another one I have a lot of fun with. And it was one of those that everybody knows to build a house, but a lot of people don't really think about food production. And as a lot of you know now, you know, after seeing some of the later episodes, you can trade a lot of food for emeralds. And let's face it, when you're busy doing other stuff, you don't want to have to farm food and you don't want to have to go find cows all the time. And this right here was such a simple design to do, and I had a lot of fun to make it. And to date, thousands and thousands of carrots and potatoes. And oh Lord, I can't even tell you how many stacks and stacks of wheat we ended up with. Uh, But the other big thing to this episode, of course, was showing everybody how to do the poor man's portal to the nether. Because remember, at this point, we still hadn't found any diamonds anywhere. And it was really funny because behind the scenes, I had actually farmed at least 4 hours. And I did not find a single diamond anywhere. So I was like, I really want to go to the nether. I want to show these guys the nether. And I played around in creative a little. And I figured out how to do this. And then sure enough, it worked out great. I mean, it was time consuming, don't get me wrong. This took so long to do. I cut a lot of it out of the episode and sped a few parts up just doing some little quick edits. But I think doing this it took me like 35 minutes to build this portal. I mean, it was absolutely insane how long it took. And the whole time I was scared to death that I was going to place a block in the wrong spot cuz I had absolutely no way to break it if I did. Of course, the most embarrassing part was after I spent so much time building the portal, I realized I didn't have any flint to make a flint and steel. So we had to go and dig gravel for a while. But now we're going to go into the nether. And at this point, I had probably only been in the nether maybe 4 or 5 times ever playing Minecraft. Because I never really played vanilla Minecraft a lot. I really got into Minecraft around the time of Attack of the B Team being current. And that mod pack, which is something we're going to go into eventually into Season 2, that mod pack right there, I had so much fun with Tinker's Construct that I really had no need to go to the nether. You know, I could make all these crazy lights and stuff like that without having to go get lightstone. But yeah, this was pretty cool. I still remember I had a lot of fun. But just like I said in this episode, I love netherrack because that big ball of fire you can get off of it puts off so much light. And there's a lot of times, like for instance, if you want to build a fireplace in your house, you know, a torch just isn't going to get it. You can put down 4 or 5 blocks of netherrack and make you a big fire like that, especially if you've got some kind of mod that has connected textures. You can really do a lot with it and make a really cool fireplace. But this was the main reason we went down there. I'd been farming the black glass, and I actually attempted at first to use lava, and I ended up burning the house down. Everything that was wood on the house just completely demolished, and I felt like such an idiot when I did it. Oh my. And then my wife was looking at me and she said, "You didn't get that recorded, did you? Because that was hilarious." I said, No, the recorder wasn't on. But yeah, I wish I would have got that one on camera because you should have seen me going around trying to get all the fire out and the poor condition of the house when it got done burning. I went back and rebuilt and just pretended like nothing ever happened. But now we're moving in, and this episode right here, this was uh this was a cool episode. I spent a lot of time building this basement. And one thing I forgot to mention was the episode where we did the greenhouse. Uh, it was the first time we did the on this episode of Minecraft Mondays. And it was because I had gotten a lot of feedback saying, "Look, your intro is just entirely too long. We like watching what you're doing, but we don't want to have to wait 45 seconds to a minute to get to the good." And that was a little easy thing because a lot of funny stuff started happening during the episode anyway. So I was like, I can put a 5, 6 second clip kind of doing a cold start and boom, there we go. But moving back to this one, we built the shrine and, you know, it was a lot of fun. It was the first appearance of the basement. And we linked up the portals on that one. I had a lot of fun doing that. And to date, this one right here is my best friend's favorite episode. This was the first episode where we found the desert temple. And I knew you would blow up if you did something, but it had been about 3 or 4 years since I had been in one. I couldn't remember exactly what triggered it, but I knew as long as I stayed away from that center, I should be right. I was scared to touch it though because I thought maybe I would blow it up if I touched it, trying to break it. So I just kind of inched my way around the room, Got to that last little chest, and sure enough, I heard it. And you guys, you saw the genuine. That was it. That was the genuine effect. I felt absolutely terrible. I could not believe I did that. So I spent about 3 hours the next day looking for more desert temples. And I found another one. And I said, this time I'm not doing it. It's not happening again. And we went in. I broke the stupid pressure plate. We did everything. We got all the good stuff. And then I stole all the TNT out from under the ground. And of course, at the end of that one, we had a little fun with the TNT too. But I did. I felt like a champ going in there. I was a man on a mission, you know. It's kind of like those cheesy 80 movies where you're like, you killed my family. I'm going to kill you. You know, I had this bravada kind of feel going back into the temple. I was like, you ain't getting me this time, you big stupid. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one too. I mean, and that was, you're going to hear me say that a lot, that I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. But this whole series has been so fun for me because this is something I had been wanting to do for a while anyway. I wanted to start making some content, and this is one of my favorite games to play, so of course it made sense to do it. But you know, in this one right here, it was the first appearance of our very, very, very cost prohibitive nether little gateway, a little protection for us. And this stairwell right here, this has been one that's always bugged me. But it was the best I could come up with at the time. I always thought I was going to go back and like put steps on it and maybe, you know, use some signs for a guardrail to make it easier. But then I was like, no, I'm just going to do an elevator. I've seen people do elevators before. And that's what we've been doing. We have been saving up materials to make an elevator. And here we go, the Enchanting the Moo Moo episode. I had already built the enchanting table in the little enchanting room, and I was like, well, how am I going to introduce it? I've already built it, and I built it off camera, playing with it. Because I didn't want to go into it blind. This is, again, something that I hadn't done before. I didn't really enchant in the game. Because, like I said, I was used to using Tinker's Construct. So instead of enchanting, I just made all these cool weapons from the get-go. But this one right here, I really wanted to be pure vanilla. So I had to learn how to enchant, and then of course I took you into creative just to kind of catch everybody up, show them how it was done. But the moo-moos part, I started this episode up and turned the recorder on, loaded it up, and this massive hole just boom, it was right there. It wasn't there before. I have no idea what caused it. I still don't know what caused it. But I was like, whoa. And then we went to the Nether Fortress. This episode right here actually is probably the only episode I've ever felt was so bad that I actually want to take it down. But I know here in a few years, you know, I'm going to be looking back. I may feel differently about it then. But it was a bad day for me. I mean, I really did. I was a little down, and I was like, I really don't want to do it, but I did it anyway, and you know, it did. It showed. It was not the best thing I'd ever put out. But once I went into the Nether Fortress, I started having fun again, and like I said, that's what it's about. It's all about having fun. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're good, and it doesn't matter if you suck. It's all about if you have fun, and that's why I made the channel Below Average Gamers. And here it is, the last episode. Last episode of the season, really, because this is more of a greatest hits, I guess you would say. And I spent well over an hour standing around waiting for these stupid slimes to spawn. It was over a week in Minecraft days. And I was like, there's something wrong. I think this game's broke. These stupid slimes will not spawn. And then the little one spawned. I got it, and I was like, oh god, that's only 2 slime balls. I'm going to be here forever. And then I saw the big one come up, and I was like, ooh, ooh. I got down there. And then there was another big one, too, and I was so excited. I mean, and you can tell, too, it, because I don't act. I really don't. I'm a terrible actor. So whatever you see in the bottom right hand corner of that screen, that's really what's going on. Because I've always recorded everything completely off the cuff. This is actually the first time I'm doing any, I guess you would say, post recording. Because I'm going to lay this audio track over the top of this. But yeah, I mean, that was it. And I was tickled to death when we had 30. This one right here is just for fun. I built this because there's a guy I know that's a big 49ers fan, and I was going to make him this super big 49ers helmet and blow it up and reveal it, and you guys saw what happened. It didn't work out well, so that ended up getting scrapped. But right behind it was this underwater temple. And this was the first one I had ever seen because that's something new that they added in 1.8. And I was like, well, I'm already in here. Before I scrap the world, I might as well check out, see what it is, do a little look around. And these things are so cool, but they are massive. I'm sure at some point I'm going to go into, we'll do it in our survival world. This obviously is creative, but it is going to be resource heavy and it is going to be a pain in the tuchus. Because these things are massive. And these potions only last for like 3 or 4 minutes. And when they're off, you can't see anything. And all these big, the little spiny fish, I don't even know what they're called. I'm a terrible person, I know. But those things, they shoot these big laser beams and they kick your butt. But this one right here is a little sneak preview for what's coming up next. I saw it on the list and I said there is no way we're not going to try out some Minecraft Pokemon. And it's really cool. I haven't figured everything out on this one. It's going to take me a while to get to the point where I'm kind of comfortable playing it and figuring out the controls because they are really, really weird. But it looks really cool. It looks like a lot of fun. We could probably do a side series on this just alone. Because they've got, I think it goes like 6 or 7 games in as far as the Pokemon list. It's crazy. But it's going to be a blast once I figure some stuff out. I mean, we might even go into a server to play this one to see if we can play with some random people. But we're almost out of time, guys. I mean, this is it. And I'm going to take a little break because I've got a lot of college finals coming up. But I will be back. And once again, I really, really appreciate you guys sticking with me and watching all this because it's been a learning curve. And there's still a lot of things that I haven't done exactly the way I want them. But it's going to get better and it's going to be so much fun next time in season 2. So until then, guys, y'all keep it safe. We'll see you.